All right, let's talk about cars you don't want to miss. Don't miss these cars. These cars are hot for various reasons. So if you play Gran Turismo 7 or you are just a car passionate nut like myself, here at JCCR Racing and Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, the Real World channel, and the Sim Racing channel, we don't want you to miss any hot, cool cars. So cars, some of them that you can really afford, and others that, well, maybe you can if you're super rich. But let's look at it right here, right now. We've got the Honda Civic SE. It is extra. It is so extra that we're going to have to learn more about it, and I think we're going to buy this one. Let's find out. Let's see what's going down here. Andy here is saying, good timing. I just received a stylish hot hatch. Yes, these were super popular in the 90s. A fourth generation EF Civic SE, also known as the Grand Civic. They rusted out like ridiculously. I remember how badly these rusted out, but the 80s Civics were even worse. But these were a lot of fun to drive. Civics are often associated with the VTEC technology, but this SE, or SI, sorry, doing a French thing there, is powered by an older ZC engine. The ZC was Honda's first dual overhead cam engine since the S800, which made its debut 14 years prior. Although it's 130 horsepower, it doesn't seem that impressive. Let's drop a K engine in there. The engine's long stroke design provides torque at low speeds. The car's body is light and compact, and its double wishbone suspension is sheer perfection. A major player in touring car races, the Civic was one of the most iconic hot hatches in the 1980s. Yes, it was, and that's why I'm gonna buy it. Now, the 90s hatchback Civics were faster, and they did have VTEC, which meant you had power, but at really high RPMs. Now the Ferrari here, 512 BB 76, looking very cool. Not a fan of the color. The color is a little boring on a Ferrari, but we'll paint this up. So we've got a 12-cylinder engine. That's nothing to cough at. All right. Power of a race car. 187.7 miles per hour. Top speed. Okay, that's kind of a big deal for that decade. Start getting me with the selling points. Pininfarina. Okay, I did not know that they still work closely with Ferrari. Very cool. So limited stock car. Let's buy it before it's gone. And that looks pretty primo cool when those lights go up and down. Come on, give it to us one more time, baby. Pop those lights for me. Show me those high beams. And I guess I'm not going to get anywhere with catcalling the Ferrari. Fair enough, Ferrari. Good job sticking up for yourself. We've got the Civic SIR. Now, we already have one. Otherwise, we would be buying this. It is limited stock, but it's $50,000. You can't go wrong with another Civic. So this does have the VTEC engine. It does already come in a color. That's pretty nice. Now, collector level, I guess, can no longer get any higher. Fairlady from the 70s with the rear view mirrors installed on the hood. Wow, what a classic look. Very tempting there. This BMW from the 70s, also very cool styling. Ooh, a Super B. Very cool. Dodge Super B down here. I had, what was it, a 1971 Plymouth Satellite, which is kind of like a luxurious version of the, what was it, the Roadrunner. Oh, and the Dino. Yeah, I will definitely buy this. And let's learn just a little bit more from Andy here. The Dino 246 GT remains one of the most famous creations from the great Italian car maker. Could have bought a kit car of this back in the day for $8,000. And I should have. It looked good, but the paint was real bad. Ugh, and it didn't seem to run very well. This compact two-seater was equipped with a mid-mounted V6. So mid-mounted. All right, so not behind the wheels. Just a little bit before those rear wheels and on the rear wheels likely. I've heard it affectionately referred to as the Piccolo, which means little one in Italian. Again, learning about Pininfarina styling. Named after one of his kids with a nickname. Okay, all right. Very cool. Let's buy it up. Spend, spend, spend. Why not? Get it while we can. Very cool. Very, very cool car. Now, I was in college and I had a Celica, but the 1993 Celica, and boy did I ever want an all-wheel drive ST205 94 Celica. So I'm just gonna buy this because, well, I guess I'm just feeling nostalgic. Not that fast, 250 horsepower at 3,000 pounds. My 1991 Toyota MR2 weighs about a little over 1,000 kilograms. So it weighs about, I guess, about 2,200 pounds. So this weighs a lot more than the Toyota MR2. And the Toyota MR2 has 240 horsepower and still doesn't feel fast enough, hence why I had to upgrade it. Now, some people are absolutely loving the Lancer evolution. I think I'll go with the Escort RS Cosworth 92 because this can be boosted quite a bit. This is going to take power real easy. It's four-wheel drive. It has 223 horsepower, and most importantly of all, its weight at 2,800 pounds isn't bad at all. So let's see what Andy's got to say. Yeah, definitely a car enthusiast, and the Escort RS is a big deal. So it's a successor of the legendary Sierra Cosworth 4x4. And yeah, that rear wing is pretty, it's undeniable. You can't avoid noticing it. I like how this looks. I know it's maybe a little goofy, but and dated, but I really, really like how this looks. And it was an absolute winner, I guess. The car was very fast, claiming 5 of 13 wins at the 1993 World Rally Championship. Well, we're gonna boost the power on this. We're gonna turn this into a rally car. Bye, 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 bye. Yes, I will. I need to get into this one because we're gonna be modifying this tomorrow. I didn't have a 180SX JDM. I had a Canadian 240SX, and boy did it ever something. Body kit, huge back then, huge, like 20-inch wheels is like unheard of. In what was it, like 2004 that I had that? I was in university. It was something. Not feeling nostalgic enough. I had like the small truck engine in it. But this Lancia is awesome. You do want to get this before it is gone. This car was a huge, huge deal in rally racing. But it is, I believe, rear-wheel drive, and they had to kind of perform small miracles to compete with Audi once the Audi came and dethroned this vehicle. So 1970s, huge racer, world's best racer until Audi's all-wheel drive came along. It did absolutely win several world championship titles. You're quite right there, Andy. Designed by Marcello Gandini, who has penned a number of classic Lamborghinis. All right. Same engine as the Ferrari Dino. Interesting. Yes, it's wild. This is now a highly sought after collectible item, collector car. But when I was a kid, they were, you could buy these for not much money at all because they weren't known for excellence or reliability. They were old by that point. When you're looking in the late 90s, early 2000s, you could pick one of these up for a reasonable price, and now you cannot pick one up for a reasonable price. Look at those little headlights, looking so good, popping up and down. Oh gosh, that's very, very cool. Okay, it's cooler than the Cosworth, so we're jumping in. Ooh, Civic Type R. Yes, absolutely going to buy this. Look at that, 247 horsepower. It's already professionally tuned, so ready for the races. And it is light, really, really, really light. Lighter than my Toyota MR2. Purchase. Do I even need to learn anything about it? Come on, let's drive it. But it is front wheel drive, so a little different to drive. A little adjustment. Made to shred the track. Absolutely. It's crazy light and a low center of gravity, making for very predictable handling, keeping me out of trouble. This sounds like a car that was made for me. Its 4-cylinder engine delivers seamless power, making it easy for anyone to look like a pro on the circuit. Well, I do need to look like a pro instead of a clown, so let's buy this up. And it looks good. Super cool. High on the cool factor. If you can get your hands on this generation of Honda Civic, throw some wheels and tires on it, and you are going to look like, you're going to look very cool and like someone who knows a whole lot about the automobile world. Now, these Corvettes, as much as Mackie is always bashing on them, I've always wanted to buy one. I've also had a dirty secret of wanting to own a Viper, and if ever I get rid of the Shelby GT350, I wouldn't mind dishing out money for an Audi R8. I've driven one once in the real world and it was awesome, and I already have a couple 911 GT3s. Otherwise, if you don't own this 911 GT3, buy it, buy it, buy it. I'm not gonna buy it because, like I said, I own a few, and I own a few in the game because it's totally worth it. Out of the box, it's very good with the 354 horsepower. The weight is reasonable, 2,976 pounds. It's just amazing on a track. Absolutely amazing. Flat 6 engine is packed with power. Oh yes it is. Allowing the car to get from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.5 seconds. Okay. Because the 996 was the first 911 powered by a water-cooled engine, it absolutely is. I've got two, one here and one in storage right now. The GT3 represents a first on a few fronts. You can check out my 911s on Johnny's Car Care and reviews. This comes packed with the race technology accrued by Porsche's long history in motorsports, and because of this, it remains one of the finest vehicles Porsche ever produced. Absolutely. I can't have too many of these. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna buy it. But 350 horsepower isn't that, it's not a huge leap, because both of my 911s, the Carrera S, have 300 horsepower, so it's not a world of difference. Mind you, this had the GT3 and the turbo version in this generation had a more reliable engine than the regular 996 Porsche. But 1999 was a good year with less than 1% engine failure due to the IMS blowing up the engine, because it's a dual row IMS. After 2000, Porsche went to the single row IMS, saying, hey, we've got too many engines blowing. Let's not admit it to anyone, but let's change the IMS bearing in this. But then they put in a far worse one that blows at about 10% of the time. $402,000 for an NSX Type R is silly money. In the real world, people were trying to get over 100 grand for them, and now they're dropping down to about $80,000. And yeah, for $80,000, maybe. There's a lot more that you can buy on the market for $80,000, so not today, not for me. Well, those are the cars that you definitely want to try picking up. But at Brand Central, if you want to come back, on the channel, like, subscribe, turn bell notifications on, as soon we'll be covering cars from Brand Central that you really don't want to miss out. And on a regular basis, we do cover the legendary cars that you don't want to miss out. We're not going to get into any details, but this week we do have these cars, our GR1s, our GT1 cars that you can tune down to GT2 or GT3 and farm and get easy credits, win easy races with these cars. They are absolutely incredible, and I have wanted to buy this one right here. It looks like I'm gonna have to go farm. because we're going to buy it probably, but come back soon as we review it and figure out if it really is worth the 3.3 million when we already have the Mercedes and the Porsche and the Nissan. We did in a previous video review the GTR GT500. Well, we bought it, and then in other videos we reviewed it, but it's a lot of money. It's 2.5 million. Buy it if you want the legendary status, but don't buy it thinking it's going to be faster than the Nismo GTR. The Nismo GTR is as good or better. So buy this really if you just want some old school nostalgia. Oh my goodness, the Fairlady Z looking so good here. And wow, a Porsche Carrera 904 for 2.3 million. I don't expect this to be fast at all. And we've got the Skyline Super Silhouette if you're looking for something rare and cool. So we'll get into, wow, the Toyota GT1. I want that. Wow. So we'll review some of these cars coming up soon under cars you don't want to miss. Get them before it's too late. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Johnny from JCCR Racing, and would really appreciate it if you can smash that like button if you made it this far, comment finisher, and subscribe, turn bell notifications on so you don't miss a beat here. And until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power, and do hope that you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car that you love sometime real soon. Now here in the great Canadian North, it's snow, so all my sports cars are put away, and I'm having a blast racing and buying cars in the virtual world here on Gran Turismo 7. Please drop a comment so we can get to know each other, and hope to see you again in a video real soon.